guys, today here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I review African literature. I hope you're having a great day so far, and if not, I hope and I pray it gets better for you. So on my video today, I'm going to be talking about ebooks, hard copies or physical books, and Audibles. And Audible. And I hope if you're someone who's trying to start reading or get into reading, I hope this is going to be helpful, because not everyone likes the traditional way of reading, which is physical copies. Other people actually find Audibles easier because when you're too busy, you don't have time to grab a book. And yeah, let's get into the video. But before we start, I just wanted to say, please ignore the ring light in my glasses, because I can't, my vision is very bad, so I really needed to wear glasses, so bear with me. But other than that, let's get into the video. So number one, it will be audiobooks. So for those who don't know or who have never heard of audiobooks are those which you listen to, from Audible, or I think there are actually other apps where you can listen to books. I'm not very familiar. I'm only familiar with Audible. I had it once and I only listened to one book, which was the Tina Turner Her Life book, and it was quite good. But the thing is, I prefer to hold a book. I'm that snob, in the reading community, people who like paperbacks or who are into physical books, we can be quite snobbish because we always want to hold the book, to build a library and that kind of thing. But it doesn't mean if you're into ebooks or if you're into Audible, it doesn't mean you're not a reader. You are a reader, because now we have busy lives. Not everyone has the time to be holding a book sitting down. But with Audible, the advantages of using an Audible are, number one, Audibles are good for people who do not like carrying books around. So if you're someone who doesn't like having things in their hands all the time or carrying large books, Audible is perfect for you, because you can just listen. And it's also for people who can't read or who can't see. So I think it's a very great app or platform for people who can't really see, or like myself too, because I wear glasses. But anyway, they also require you to pay attention, so this could be an advantage or a disadvantage depending with your attention span. If you're someone with a very short attention span, this might not be good for you, because with Audible you actually have to pay attention. You literally have to be in the moment. You don't listen to Audibles or listen to a book when you're doing chores. You just have to sit down and really listen, because with Audible you can't really skip and understand the story, unlike when you're having a physical book or an ebook, you can actually skip a few chapters to see what's going on in the next chapter. But because with Audible, it's someone who's literally reading it, you kind of have to listen to each and every single line. And for other people who don't have the patience for that, it can be a bit tedious. And with Audible too, you really have to you have to be in the mood, because some people, they end up giving up before they finish the whole book, because the last chapters is you're just doing a favor. You don't really want to do it, you just have to. So that's the other disadvantage to do with Audible. If you're someone who doesn't really have a long attention span, this might not be for you. But if you're someone who can actually sit down and concentrate and listen to the whole book, I would advise for you to try Audible, especially when you're driving or when you're you have a busy day. Because I remember my friends, my sister's friend was asking if you're someone who uses Audible or Audible books, are you considered a reader? Of course you are. It's not reading in the literal sense, but you are reading because you're listening to the book. So it doesn't mean if you're not into physical books you're not a reader. You're definitely a reader. Don't listen to us paperback people. Sometimes we kind of have this thing of thinking that just because we can hold a book, the other person is not reading. No, don't listen to us. Number two will have to be ebooks. So ebooks, these are books which you can travel around with. For example, if you have Kindle. Yes, Kindle is a form of an ebook. So with Kindle, I know you can have 5,000 books or more, if I'm not mistaken, but I know you can have a lot of books on Kindle. And some of the advantages, they're quite cheaper than physical books. And they're also with apparently with Kindle you can actually adjust the font, and you can adjust the spacing and change the background. So you can change the background into whichever color you want, depending if you like, you know, your eyes are quite sensitive, you can actually change it to dark mode, or if not, you can actually leave it on bright. And you can actually adjust the font, unlike, you know, paperback, you just take it as it is. But with ebooks you can actually like enlarge or, you know, minimize. I think that's the word, I hope that is. And they're actually lighter to carry because it's just like a tablet, so you just carry a tablet. And the disadvantages are one can easily get distracted because, for example, if you have the ebook app on your phone, I think there's one called EPUB. I'm not very familiar, but I've heard people talk about them. I don't really use Kindle or any of, you know, soft copies, and you can easily get distracted. Like, for example, if it's on your phone and you get a text, of course you're going to be tempted to open the text. If you maybe want to go on Instagram, maybe you want to open Netflix. I myself, I know I would literally do this because I get so distracted. So I think it's best I stick to the paperback, because I know if I'm reading, I'm in the moment, but if it's on my phone, I'll end up doing something else. The other disadvantage is you end up hoarding the books. So that's like, you know, you get all the books, but you don't really have the time to read them. I think this is a problem for people who like physical books too, present company included. I have a lot of books, and right now I've stopped buying. I think I'm on 3 weeks now, and it's been hard. It really has been hard, but I'm trying to reach like 4 months. I don't know, I'll see. But so far so good. I think I'm doing brilliant. And yeah, with hoarding books, it's very nice to just see a stack of books, you know, especially as a reader, be like, okay, one day. But then sometimes when you're not in the mood for reading, like as of late, I don't remember the last time I read a book. I've just not been in the mood to read a book. So I kind of need to like find a book like the mood that I'm in, to find the genre which I want to read on. The other disadvantage is collecting books via ebook is not as much a flex as showing your library. Of course, this is coming from like a person who likes physical books, because when you have like physical books, you actually have a library. So, you know, it's kind of a flex, I won't lie. And yeah, that's an ebook. So if you're someone who travels a lot, someone who doesn't like carrying things around, you can get an ebook or audiobook. They kind of work hand in hand. But if you're someone who actually likes reading and not listening, so ebook would probably be best for you. But also look out for the disadvantages, like having to hoard so many books. You know, I think we all suffer from that, whether you're someone who likes Audible, whether you're someone who likes ebooks, or someone who likes paperbacks or hard copies, physical books. I think we'll all go through this situation. But yeah, so it's up to you. If you like this idea, go for it. If not, then maybe the next one is for you. So last but not least, it's physical books. I personally, I love holding a book. I love the smell of it. I just love seeing the cover and just holding it in my hand. That's just me. Okay, that's just me. But if you're not into it, okay, that's fine. That's you. So the advantages of a physical book, of course, a library. You can actually like have your own library. I've been working on that. I cleared most of my books. I've put them away, but I think there are about 200 books. I know it's a lot, so I had to put them away. I had to put the ones I've read on the side, and I've kept some which I left halfway. Some of the books which I've read I haven't finished, because whilst I'm reading the book, maybe my mood changes and I don't understand the book anymore, or I'm not in the mood to read it anymore, so I have to find another book which I'm in the mood for. There is a method to my madness, but it works. And number 2, the smelling, the touching, and the feel of a book. I'm for it. I love holding a book, smelling a book. I don't know what it is, but I just get so happy. Number 3, as much as ebooks, audiobooks are convenient to those who are able to read, of course, there is nothing like going to a bookstore and picking up a book and falling in love with it. I love going to the bookstore. I think the Waterstone in Oxford is literally my happy place. If I'm not at home or at work, I'm literally there. That's where I used to spend my time before COVID, of course. And I think I was there like almost every single day when I wasn't at work, and I just love it. Because you can actually read the book without buying it there. So if you don't want to buy the book, you can just sample the book, read it in store, and then just leave it. And I'll tell you an incident which I had, okay, a few years back. So I really wanted Queenie by Candace Williams. I'm forgetting the other part of her name. Carty. Yes. And I was conflicted because I had to buy a book or toothpaste. Mind you, we still had toothpaste. It was just like enough for 3 days left, so I had to buy toothpaste. Then I saw the book and I read a bit of it in store, and I fell in love, which was to be expected. Queen is an amazing book. I loved it. And I called my friend. I was like, okay, do you think it's a good idea for me to buy the book or the toothpaste? And she was like, why are you asking me this? I was like, book or toothpaste? Of course you say toothpaste, but I was like, yeah, but we still have some more at home, so I ended up buying the book. I bought the toothpaste the next day because that day I didn't have enough money to buy both. So I ended up buying the book, and then when I went back home, people were like, okay, the toothpaste. Were like, you know what, maybe I'll buy it tomorrow. So it's not that I didn't brush my teeth, okay? We did brush our teeth, but at that moment in time, a book was more important. So these are the dangers of sometimes going to the bookstore. Like for me, I will buy books, okay? I will buy books. Like when they open, I'm just going to restrict myself, maybe just to touch and smell them. I'll try not to buy books this time around. And the disadvantages of physical books. I don't know. Maybe, okay, fine. Maybe if you don't like them, they're heavy, okay? Like if you don't like holding things in your hands, I don't mind, but for everyone else, if you don't like holding things in your hands, they can be quite heavy because they're like other books. They're very humongous. I know, like the New Daughters of Africa, it's they're very huge. They're very big. And another disadvantage, you can't change the font. So if you're someone who has like a visual impairment, maybe, but I think other books, they actually sell larger prints. There are other books which actually have larger prints, so maybe you can try those. You can tell I didn't even write any disadvantages because I don't think there are any disadvantages. But another disadvantage is like they can rip, that's if you're an animal, obviously, because I don't understand how someone can rip a book. But anyway, they can actually rip you. They can have coffee stains. Depends like what you use to hold the book. I use so many different things to hold a book. I use money. I use receipts. I use hair clips. I use scrunchies. I use sometimes my glasses. So many things I use to hold the book. But yeah, I think those are some of the disadvantages. Those are the only ones I can think of now. So yeah, if you're someone who's actually getting into reading, you want to start trying to read, don't feel as if you like Audible or if you like ebooks, you're not a reader. You are a reader. Don't listen to like physical book people. We can be quite snobbish, as I said before, because we always want to touch the book. There is no accomplishment of thinking that, okay, I read a physical book, and someone who actually had an ebook or Audible. We've all read the book. We all know what's in the book. So don't feel as if you're not good enough. If you don't like physical books, it's fine. You're a reader, and make sure whichever you choose, read the books that you like. And for you to be a reader doesn't mean you always have to go for the classics, like the books that everyone talks about, that's if you're into African literature. Well, this is an African literature channel, so I'm talking about African literature. You don't have to have read Chinua Achebe, you don't have to have read Tisi Dangareboa or Dambudzo Marechera, you don't have to have read like, all the greats. You know, you can start small, like discover new African writers. You know, there are so many of them. They have like amazing books, you know, different genres. And I also like that nowadays people are actually writing stories which are different genres, because before, not that they didn't have, but they kind of had the same storyline in a way. But now you can actually say, okay, this is a thriller, this is a horror, this is romance, this is biography, this is a memoir. I think a memoir and biography the same, I don't know, I'll look that up. But now you can actually, you know, take a pick, you know, and that's very exciting. I, for one, have always wanted to like read different genres so that I see what I like. And also, like what I was saying, if you're not in the mood, let's say if you're reading something romantic and then you're not in the mood anymore, you can go to a horror or a thriller, sci-fi, anything. And I think now more people are getting into that, and that's amazing. So if you're also a writer and you're thinking, oh gosh, what should I write? Write whatever you want. Write whatever you want. People now are buying, because before we all leaned towards the single story of Africa, you know, poverty, AIDS, all of that. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but also it's very good to be diverse, for us to read different genres, which like sci-fi or romance, something which even others that don't even make any sense. That would be very awesome. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that it has helped you. And until next time, goodbye.